Alright, we are back with Mask of the Betrayer, expansion to Neverwinter Nights 2. We just got Gann, this handsome gentleman over here, and I think we were to speak to the witches about how to get into Shadow Mulsantir, so we can go help these people named after animals with, like, you know, antlers and shit. We're gonna help them find their sister. Let's talk to Shiva Whitefeather because she's the most agreeable. The bear god still roars for your blood, foreigner. Why do you stand on our sacred ground? Tell me about Shadow Mulsantir. Where did you hear of that? Have you been listening to the rumors of foreigners? Ephraim and Susa think that their sister went there. Indeed, I suppose there is little point in keeping the secret from you, as we have kept it from most of Mulsantir. I will mark a location on your map. Go there at night with the stone you were given by Magda. I ask that you do not speak of this to others. Residents of Mulsantir live with enough fear lately. I do not want to give solidity to what is, for now, just a rumor. This is your temple, and those statues, the goddesses Shantea, Emiliki, and Mistra? So, you know them. Kazumika thinks you a mere barbarian, but I am beginning to believe you are something more. My people know these goddesses by different names, foreigner, different masks. Take Chantea, for example. Here she is called Bala. That was also her name in ancient days when she roamed wild across the world, and that is the name, the mask, that we revere. So the gods have different masks in this land, different personalities? A person, or a god, becomes the mask she wears, but she cannot truly escape what lies beneath. In the end, there must be a reckoning between them. One must overcome the other. All things arise from such struggles between identities, in the world without and in our tiny worlds within. Farewell. Okay. Oh my god. I wanted to go to this temple as well. Because we do have time to kill. We can't go to Shadow Mulsantir until nighttime. So let's go in this temple. Let's talk to Daravik. Peace, stranger. Have you lost someone, perhaps, or does a comrade need the right of passing? No, what is this place? A house of comfort and faith. It belongs to Kelemvor, Lord of the Dead. Why do you people insist in casting rituals before unhearing stones beyond my understanding? At least when I cry out, the spirits of Rashman answer, and with a fury greater than any god. So you are without faith, then? To the spirits of Rashman, I have faith. In your statues and rituals, I think not. That is your right, of course, but I fear that perhaps what awaits you after this life, there is a place reserved for the faithless. I am not one of your wide-eyed kettle that fears planar depths, where eternal fires burn, where bodies are churned within the maws of beasts leagues wide, or a wall, where all the faithless of the realm scream, cry for release, but are locked forever in each other's clutches, with no god to cry to for mercy upon their lips. Imagine never sleeping, never dreaming, always awake, aware, and without hope. That is what awaits you. Do you mean the wall of the faithless? A wall? What nonsense are you threatening me with? He threatens me, that is all. It is nothing new in my experience. I do not threaten you, shaman. That was never my intent. But there is such a place, and I hope you never find yourself there. And I hope I do not need to listen to your tales of woe, priest. Your hopes and dreams are gray enough. Frenia, how much longer must we remain within this grave of a temple? The priest can explain the wall better than I think. The wall of the faithless is a structure that encircles the city of judgment, the city of the dead. If you pay respect to no god, it is what awaits you after death. Your soul becomes part of the wall. And what happens to it then? It is absorbed. You cease to exist as an individual and join with the wall. So it's destroyed. No, but your identity, your consciousness, ceases to exist. The wall has a hunger, it eats away at the consciousness, the memory, and finally, the soul. Twisted dreams, delusions, and false promises, I assure you, priest, such a place is not my destination, though when your eyes close, I may twist your dreams so that you might see the absurdity of such a place. No, such a place does exist. It is not delusion. Oh, I lost some influence, dang. Don't tell me you are beholden to this illusionary punishment as well. Am I surrounded by fools? It is a difficult thing to accept, and it is not my desire to force anything upon you. If you ever wish to speak more at a time, when another shows you the truth of such an edifice, then I will be here. I heard rumors of a man called the Betrayer, who led a crusade against the City of Judgment. Are these stories true? Some of them are true, yes. Like any stories, they are twisted to suit the needs of tellers, and the tellers of that tale have been many. My telling would be poor by comparison, for the story is not much loved by my faith. Will you tell me what you know, at least? This temple has served 3 gods of the dead. In the days of Merkel, the first of these gods, a priest called Akachi presided here. Akachi turned against his god, and he marched an army to the gates of the City of Judgment. Such a thing should have been impossible, yet it was done. In the realm of the dead, Akachi the Betrayer sought to bring down the wall of the faithless, to tear it up from its roots, and set all the trapped souls free. Why would Akachi try to bring down the wall? Some of my brethren insist that it was vengeance or spite, that Merkel had slighted his priest, who had given his life to his god and never questioned him, and now felt betrayed. I think that is too simple a reason for so monumental a crime, but in truth, no one knows. Mercifully, whatever his reasons, the betrayer failed. The wall still stands now as it did then. What happened to the betrayer himself? Merkel was a jealous, vengeful god. He did not reveal what punishments were bestowed upon the betrayer, but I am certain they were worthy of his crime. You say it is a mercy that Akachi failed? Why? Because the plains are founded upon an order, a covenant between gods and mortals. The wall is a symbol of that covenant, and to tear it down. Such an act would crack the foundations of the plain. It would be as if the sun failed to rise in the morn, or the seas fell upward into the sky. You know nothing else? Nothing, but more is written in the ancient books of Merkel's faith. I do not know their names except for one, the Lamentations of the Dead. It is said that there was a vault, a place where such things were hidden. Not here, though, not in the house of Kelemvor. Remember that Mulsantir is a city of shadows and masks. I would look behind those masks and shine some light into the shadows if I was seeking a secret place. Farewell. Okay, good talk. Learned some stuff about some kind of betrayer, it seems. A great deal of talk of betrayers and masks. And you know, who can say whether it means anything? Good, okay. This is the one I want. Yeah, this game has 3 camera modes and they all suck. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock. I guess if I rest... If everybody can hurry up. Souza and Ephraim. Let's rest for 8 hours. And what do you know? Going back to Shadow, I guess. To the portal. Oh shit, there's spiders here. Oh my god. It might be overkill, Gann. I don't know. Yes, everybody attack! Christ.
Follow me closely.
Are you doing anything?
Shall we indulge our...
How about everybody attacks things? Let's see, is that a voice command I need to give? Attack first. Finally dead.
This place resembles Mulsantir.
It resembles Mulsantir, but like perhaps a shadowy version. It does make it a little bit harder to see what's going on. It looks like God mode is on, so that's good. Do you have a tiny bag for me? Thank you. A dread wraith. Take that, dread wraith. Okay, I want to switch to this view for the ascent as we come upon the Death God's vault, which I wish I could get a better shot of it, getting the whole thing in there, because like just chef fingers. Alright, it's beautiful. Let's fight these things. What are they? Nightwalkers. Oh shit. I guess Sophia used Meteor Storm as well. I silenced or something. Mummy? The fuck's their mummy? Okay. Alright, well, let's enter the Death God's vault.
Counterpart in Mulsantir. Strange.
Somebody must have summoned this mummy. I don't know why else it would be here. God, it's so fucking rad. Oh, it's too cool. Can't handle it. Oh, hey.
There are few who would brave the tattered black gates that tie this shadow Mulsantir to its twin. Yet you have come, brave or not. What is your reason for coming here? Has something called you to this place?
I'm gonna adjust the volume just a bit because Kaylin speaks really softly. And her voice actor is really good. Are you Kaylin the Dove? Your siblings have been looking for you.
That does not surprise me. My siblings are loyal and often quite persistent. No doubt it was Ephraim or Souza who you met. Possibly both. I have been cut off from the menagerie for some time, and it seems they have not given up the hunt. But it would be unlike them to surrender such a hunt, especially for their sister. I am Kaylin, formerly of the House of the Triad. My spirit now lies within the House of Ilmater.
Ilmater, the god of martyrs and suffering, correct?
You know his name and his acts, then. He calls us all, and comforts the wounded. Even in this place, I can feel his presence, and it grants me the strength to continue on.
What brings a priest of Ilmater to the Shadow Plane?
I seek entrance to the depths of this vault. The next stage of my pilgrimage lies there, and this gate before me is but another obstacle placed in my path.
Do you know how to open the gate?
I have stood before this door and studied its surface for days countless, and let my eyes fall upon black, the thin etchings of its surface. If you relax your eyes to the shadow, you see the true depths of the artistry of these mosaics, some written in ash, others in shale, slate, and dyed tile black. Within these shades is a key, and once unlocked, the path will continue on.
How did you get to the Shadow Plane?
I have spent most of my life traveling the plains. Even so, it took me a long time to sense the ebb and flow of the portals in Mulsantir. With enough concentration, I was able to bridge them, although, judging from your strength, it was more difficult for me than for you.
Have you noticed anything else while you've been here?
Most of my time has been spent reaching this place, but I have seen fires in the distance here in the Shadow Plane, but I do not know who else is here. I spotted them down by the ferry. I suspect they may be visitors, like us. The native creatures I have encountered have little use for flame.
Why would anyone come here from the realms?
I think the two of us may not be the ones best suited to ask such a question, as we both came here with purposes of our own. As for others, seclusion is one reason. The Shadow Plane is a place to hide secrets, close but beyond the reach of most thieves or watchers. Evil things may transpire here, far from the eyes of others.
Are the portals in the Shadow Plane affected by time like the ones in Mulsantir?
That is a good question. I know the ones in Mulsantir unveil themselves at night. If so, the darkness of the Shadow Plane should leave the portals to Mulsantir always open, but that is merely a guess. Although, since the flow of streets, and even potential obstructions, in Mulsantir may not be here, there may be more portals here than were evident in Mulsantir. I have not explored enough to say. But again, what I offer are guesses only. Do not take my words as truth unless you have a chance to test the portals yourself.
How did you fight your way past all those creatures?
It was actually easier to go forward than retreat, so do not think me brave. Many were the shadows that I fought on my way here, and as I explored this place, they arose anew from the darkness. I suspect that with the passage of time, even the opponents you faced on the way here may arise again to face you.
We'll need to be careful and move quickly through this place then.
I believe they returned within a day's cycle. It may have been less. Time is difficult to track within this plane.
The structure is more massive than the one in Mulsantir.
It is. Unlike the other structures, it is not a shadow of Mulsantir. It was purposely built on the Shadow Plane by priests of Merkel.
Merkel, but the structure in Mulsantir is a temple of Kelemvor. Oh my god, Gann. Jesus.
Even the roles of gods and their priests can change in time. Merkel was once god of the dead, and then Kelemvor took up that role. But Merkel's creations still remain.
Why did the priests of Merkel build it here?
This place was chosen for its secrecy. Few can travel here as they would in the realms, and even once here, fewer can survive its inhabitants. Its purpose was a library and a prison. The priests of Merkel used it to store valuable artifacts and relics. They also imprisoned enemies of the faith here, ones they needed to keep in shadow and silence.
What did they do to them?
For those who needed to be silenced forever, or had simply passed on to the City of Judgment, a crematorium was also said to lie within these walls. Merkel had many enemies, both within his temples and without. Many died in Merkel's name with no one to hear their last words, with no one to help ease their suffering.
How much of this structure have you explored?
Beyond the Great Hall? Not far. Many of Merkel's priests remain in the antechambers. I did not wish to reveal myself to them until I had finished my studies of the gate to the level below. Still, I suspect I will only find what I seek in the side chambers, where the priests still carry out Merkel's rituals.
I thought this place was abandoned.
The disciples of Merkel remain, but they are mummified now. They are difficult opponents, but perhaps together we may best them. I can lend my powers to yours if you wish.
Mummified priests. Any advice on dealing with them?
My belief in Ilmater may allow us to defeat them simply by faith alone, by turning them. Some may be too strong for such power, however. Fire may serve us well against them, but be careful not to let them get too close. Their touch carries rot and disease, tools of Merkel. If you wish me to join you in defeating them, it may be worthwhile to let me rest, so I can pray to Ilmater for spells to fight such diseases before we continue on.
Would you consider traveling with us? Perhaps we could help you.
I would welcome company. My watch here has been a silent one. Still, my purpose is here. I must find a way to the lower vault. No matter what I try, this gate blocks my efforts. I can find no key, no means of opening it. I do not know what more to do.
Perhaps if we ally, we can discover a means of opening this gate.
There would be value in such an alliance. And this gate has yet to yield its secrets. Perhaps elsewhere in this vault lies a key. I pledge myself to your service. Let us see what good we can achieve by our alliance, and may Ilmater bless our endeavor.
Jesus. Very well, let's go. Caitlin is a cleric and is capable of casting powerful healing spells. She's really good at fighting the undead. She gets immunity to stuff because she's celestial. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I should adjust the volume back. Okay. So she's pretty kitted out here.
Closely.
But I should see if anybody else can use this armor. Padded armor plus armor. You don't have any armor. What the fuck, my man? It's light armor. Oh, styling.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got good armor.
Follow me.
Follow
Closely.
me.
Yes.
Follow me. Set me free. Okay. Really? One level 4 spell slot? I'll take the +3 to strength. Maybe Gann would like that. But what does he have? Ring of Power. That seems pretty good. Resistance. Yeah, that also seems pretty good. What do you have?
Yes.
And you have bonus spell slot. Again, not that great. And bonus to AC, which is good. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Fuck, I hate that voice. Okay. We will call it there for today. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.